Hi everybody, greetings. My name is Cheryl Forehand and I am one of the group fitness and Pilates instructors here at the JCA. Welcome to Mat Pilates. Today we just need a small ball or a small hand towel. If you do not have a small ball, you can do everything without the ball, and have a little bit of water next to you. Even though the weather may be changing, warm to cool, we still need to keep ourselves well hydrated. We're going to start with just a standing roll down and come down to the mat nicely and do our warm up in supine position today. So standing at the edge of your mat, I want you to take a nice deep breath in, exhale, and lower your arms down and let them just hang for a moment. Eye gaze should look between your legs, let those arms dangle, and finding a little space at that shoulder joint. We're going to slowly stack up the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Reach those arms up nicely and take a breath. Lift that torso and then dive forward, scooping in, pubic bone to belly button, engaging that to the spine. And now we'll place our hands to the floor. If you can't get to the floor, then bend your knees to get there. And we'll just do a nice little hamstring stretch as we progress down. And lift, sit, and lift. Each time you lift, look between the legs. Let the neck and the head hang and relax. You will get more connection on the back line of the body. And last one. And sit. We're going to take ourselves down gracefully. And from here, just take your feet and knees and align them to the inside of your ASIS front hip bones. Take a nice breath, and we're going to roll all the way down. Making sure my water is out of the way. Take a breath, bring your knees in. Your ankles should be under the knees. And just try to find that alignment. We're going to place the palms of our hands on each hip bone, fingertips to the pubic bone, and thumbs together, creating a triangle so that we can find neutral spine to start with. So exhale as you bring your fingers higher than the thumbs. Feel the low back gently into the mat. Inhale, lengthen back out, and feel your waist area lift, not arch, but come into a neutral spine. Fingers to thumbs are on the same plane. Exhale as you do that, pelvic tilt again, and inhale as you lengthen. And let's do 3 more. Exhale, inhale. It's a nice release also for the lumbar spine, connected to your sacrum. But it helps you find neutral for you. And there we go. So our goal is to keep this pelvis as quiet and as neutral as possible in all of the exercises that we are going to do. And that engages your core muscles, your pelvic floor, your multifidi back muscles, your transverse abdominals, and your diaphragm if you're breathing right. So using the core as a cylinder to stabilize us is the work that we do in Pilates. So start with the arms up to the ceiling. I want you to pull those shoulder blades away from the mat and exhale, draw them down. Keep those arms shoulder distance or just a little wider. And just make sure that they're not coming towards each other as you lift up. Inhale. And lower. Now take both arms, float them down. Think of tips of the fingertips to the shoulder socket. Nice, long. Exhale. We want to look to make sure we don't have any waving. I tend to do that, so we want to watch that and find that full connection from the fingertips to the shoulder socket. Exhale. We're going to go into a paddle next. So now we're going to take one arm down, one arm back, exhale, switch. Through this motion, keep the front ribs engaged. No flaring, keeping the back ribs into the mat. Just feel the shoulder blades start to go in opposition. One more time. And both arms up to the ceiling. Take a breath, wake up the low abdominals. Exhale, curl. We're waking up the rectus and the transverse. Inhale, come back down. Reach those arms wherever are comfortable for you. Exhale, curl up. Inhale. As you curl up, soften your breastbone, draw those ribs together. Eye gaze lands at the top of the knee. Really engage, keeping neutral spine. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. And 1 more. Hold it down. Turn your palms to face you. Soften the elbows, and we'll do a little hug a tree as you draw the shoulder blades towards each other and then bring them together. So inhale. Feel the pecs across the chest open up. Exhale as you draw those shoulder blades away. It's very limited movement. If you go further, then something else is taking over. I just want those middle and lower trapezius muscles to wake up for you. 2 more. 1 more. Beautiful. Take your arms all the way down to the side, and we're going to do some baby bridges. So start back with that pelvic tilt that you started. Start to articulate up. Lift 1 vertebrae up at a time. Really soften those ribs, and when those ribs soften and come towards each other, you're able to get a little bit more articulation in the mid-back area. Take a breath. Exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time. Draw the rib cage towards each other. Find that middle back, mid-thoracic area to articulate down. When you get down to about your waist area, we're back to laying the pelvis into neutral. 2 more of those. Just enjoy letting the spine wake up, mobilize, inhale. Take a breath at the top, exhale, articulate down. Really get a little bit of space between each vertebrae. And 1 more time. Tilt that pelvis. Exhale, roll all the way up, and exhale, come all the way down. Now it's time for the 100. Our leg position can stay where you're at, but I'm going to move up to a tabletop for level 2. Arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, curl up. Now when we get ready for the 100, the legs can stay in level 2, level 3, or you can go to a full 45, 50 degrees, okay? But we're going to do 2 more ab curls with the knees in level 2. Exhale. And this time, exhale, hold it. You find where you want to work, and we're going to pump. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that vigorous pump and exhale. Keep that abdominal in. We've got 4 more sets. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower if you want, lift higher if you want. And 2 more sets. Slap that water. And last one, bend the knees in. Slowly come down. Drop the legs 1 at a time. Extend your legs out. Zip the legs together. Flex at the feet. We'll do our first roll up for transition. No worries if you need to warm up a little more. Take a breath, lift head, neck, and shoulder. Exhale as you roll all the way up. So the roll up is really about breath and eye gaze. We will grab our ball now. So we'll start those segmental roll downs, and that way, if you're not ready for a full roll down, then you can use this ball and modify. So we'll start here to really wake up the low abs. So let's do that pelvic tilt again that we warmed up with. See if you can find that. Exhale. Inhale, stack. So we're doing the same thing we did on supine with the ball behind us. Now as you come back into that ball, feel how that low back pushes in, and that connects a little bit more of the low abdominals. Good. We're going to take our arms out, flex at the ankles, and halfway curl up and curl up. So we're not leaving the ball. Each time we curl up, the back goes into the ball a little bit more. You're not coming away from the ball. You're actually curling your back into the ball. Breathe. Wake up your transverse abdominals. Your rectus is actually involved as well. And hold. We're going to take that ball just a little bit higher, right about right below the scapulas. So we're going to curl, and we're going to come back. Leave that ball this time, but now as you curl, stay there. Curl, just barely leave the ball. Curl, barely leave the ball. I hope you're waking up. Curl, and come all the way up. Now find a position that works for you, either low or a little higher where we worked. And then we're going to take our legs hip width apart, ASIS apart, feet parallel. Arms out, find that connection in the low back and the low abdominals. From here, really stay connected. Don't let the back leave the ball. Lift, exhale, lower, inhale, lower, good, up, exhale, lower, 2 more, up, exhale, lower, last one, hold it, stack your hand on top of hand, rotate the ribs only. Notice your ball does not move. Now if you didn't have a ball, you could be using a small hand towel to support you, or actually use nothing. I'm doing the work with the little modification of the ball so that you can feel that connection. One more set, rotate and rotate. Come back to the center, arms out, all the way up. We're gonna go a little around the world and we're gonna curl. We're gonna take our arms over to one side, sweep them up and around, and exhale. Keep the back into the ball. Sweep them around, all the way, exhale. Don't forget your breath. One more full set, inhale, and exhale, come up. Last one, inhale, and exhale, come all the way up. Legs back out, flex at the ankle, take your ball out. Now, if full roll-ups are not in your plans today, then you continue to work at the level we just did. I'm putting my ball down, we're going into roll-ups. Tuck that pelvis, imagine that ball's back there. Drape the spine, reach back behind you. Inhale, eye gaze to your feet, exhale over, breath, no momentum. Round your spine, reach for your toes if you can. Exhale, really find that deep scoop. Find that connection in the sacrum to the mat first. Reach back, take breath. Exhale, blow your air out smoothly. Avoid momentum. Good, 2 more of those. Exhale. Reach back, inhale, exhale. So Joe Pilates said if you did 2 exercises every day, because yes, you can do Pilates every day, the 100 and roll-ups would be your 2 choices. Ooh, it's abdominal work, it's spinal mobility work, and breath. And stack up nice and tall. Take the legs out, no wider than your mat. Find your ribs right over the hips. If your back is tight or hamstrings, soften your knees so you can get up nice and tall. Spine stretch forward, take your arms, stack one over the other. Drop your chin. As you start to articulate your spine, imagine a wall on your back. Your fingertips are going to find the floor. Once they find the floor, let them glide forward a bit. Exhale. Now that low back area that we had against the ball doesn't shift, doesn't move. Exhale, stack it up, reach up, good, and drop the chin. Pull those abdominals into the back as if that ball is back there. You're pushing into that imaginary ball. Reach forward as you still have that opposition in the sacrum. Exhale as you stack up. Inhale all the way. 2 more. Drop the chin. And if you do this workout at home and you want to make it longer, just add a few more reps. Most of the Pilates work, the easier exercises are about 10. The more difficult exercises are limited to 3 or 4 sets. And stack all the way up. Take the arms out for side bend. So I'm going to turn slightly so that you can see that range. Take one arm down. Without locking the shoulder, have it soft, lift the other arm and reach over. The reach is from the serratus at the armpit to the hip anchor. Come up. You don't want the resting arm to push against the floor, but just gently rest against it. Good, come up and breathe. Lateral flexion, side bends, exhale over, inhale up, exhale over, Inhale up, one more each way. And up, breathe, 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 beautiful. And we're coming back to separating our legs out for saw. Arms out again, bent knees if you need to. Rotate pinky finger towards pinky toe. Rotate your arm so your palm looks at the ceiling and look behind you, raising that arm. Take a breath. Stack up, reach, go over to the other side. Inhale, up, exhale, reach. Inhale, up, exhale, reach. That pinky finger is sawing off the outside of the toe. And exhale. And exhale, breathe. Exhale with that rotation. And one more each set, one set, each way. Good, and here we come, all the way down. Bring your legs back in front of you. Take your ball into your hands. Remember, curl the pelvis. Everything we started with, we want to go back to that in our articulation. Take your feet back, ankles under the knees. Lift your hips and now place the ball underneath yours, right at the sacrum. Tailbone is off, waist is off. Finding that nice stability without rocking back and forth. One of my favorite to open up the low back, hip mobility series. Lift one leg, lift the other leg. Take a breath, flex a foot, soften the other one, points, switch. So you're alternating your ankle work, very much like we do with our walking. Your hands can be out a little wider if you like. You'll find one wants to do the same thing as the other. Or your hands can be more narrow to give yourself more core challenge. So don't forget, you're trying to alternate the ankles. They affect the front of the leg and the back of the leg, as you'll feel. Last one, and heels together, toes apart. Open no wider than the mat. Come in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Tempo change, in, in. 4, 3, 2, crossovers and front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. 3, 2, last one, flex at the ankles, open out wide. Point, come back in. Flex, open out wide. Point, come back in. Flex, open out wide. Point, come back in. 2 more, really get those inner thigh muscles and the medial hamstring, and up we come. We're gonna bend the knees and go into a bicycle here. Take one leg out. Think of a long leg. Let the toes find the mat. Drag that foot back in and out. So we don't want to be short. We want to be long and reaching, taking advantage of the hip flexors stretching as we reach our toes to the floor. Open. We have 3 major ones across the front of the hips, so let's loosen them up nicely. Yeah, beautiful bicycles. And last one, and both legs together. We're going to drop the feet down one at a time, just a quick sequence. We have the series of 5, coming up very shortly. Hopefully that feels good. It should also allow you to find neutral spine even easier because your back has opened up. So now, preparing for our series of 5, starting with single leg stretch, we'll bring those knees back into tabletop. Come up with the arms, and I want you to give me that abdominal curl like we did earlier for the 100. Eye gaze towards the knees, abdominals are in. Take one leg straight out, take the hand right below the knees, the other hand to the outside right above the ankles. And this is to hold the body in place. So pull in and switch, switch. If you want to increase your work, go light, go arms up. So you have a progression that you can make as you start to feel stronger with these, yes? Breathe, breathe, breathe. 3 more sets. Last set, and both knees together. Hands to the outer side. We're going to go into double leg stretch. Both legs go out, both arms go out. Exhale, circle. You can pull in for your work. Make it harder. Don't pull in. Make it harder. Keep the arms floating and never come close to the legs. 3, exhale. 2, exhale. Last one, hold it in. One leg up, one leg out. Calves are tight, hamstrings tight, grab here. If not, grab here. Straighten. 2 pulses in with breath. In towards your face, not allowing the upper body to fall back. Last set. And last one. Bring those knees in. Woo, slowly come down. We have 2 more of this series of 5, but we're going to take a quick break. Turn our heads side to side. And back to the center. Thread your fingers. Thumbs support the neck. Elbows where you can see them so the scapulas have some space between each other. Curl up, look at the knees. Let your head get heavy in the hands without them moving. So you want to keep the hands quiet and push your head into that wall or hammock. Let the lower legs relax. We're going to go into a double knees. It's one of my prep work for double straight legs. Let the feet float down. Exhale. A lot of times we go into double straight leg stretch and the hip flexors take over. So if you have grippy hip flexors, they're going to want to take over. And they took over because the abdominals have said, I'm taking a rest. So in this prep, the hip flexors really don't get to grip, and you should feel the low abdominals. If you feel that, then we're going to stay here and progress. If you are feeling like you don't want to progress, stay with your knees. And we're going to inhale, exhale, lift. Keep the upper body quiet. Exhale, pull up. You should not feel anything at those hip flexors. Use the breath in the abdominals. One more. And hold. Bend your knees back into a 90-degree tabletop for crisscross. Rotate. One inside armpit towards the opposite knee. The elbow does not cross the face. Take that same leg out. Rotate. This is one of my favorites. Feel the ribs rotate. And be cautious that there's not a rocking or leaning happening, but that you're rotating around the spine to get those obliques. Reach and reach and reach. One more set. Reach and reach. Hold it in and slowly come all the way down. Drop your feet. Take your hands by your side. Nice spine twist. Both knees drop. Keeping your head centered, feel the stretch across. This is your QL and then across the hips and the glutes. Breath is important. It's an exhale to use your abdominals to bring the legs back. Try not to use the legs. Inhale. And exhale. The inhale fills up the spine as it's twisted. Exhale, back to the center one more time. And exhale. Legs all the way out in front of you. Zip up, feet flexed, arms up. We'll try a roll up in transition. Lift head, neck, and shoulder, and exhale, roll all the way up. We're going to go into a kneeling side series today. If your knees give you any issue, you can double up your mat. If your wrists bother you, you can actually grab a yoga block or that towel so that you have some support. So it's the kneeling side, and I'm going to take you into a progression that's easier than kneeling and kind of leaning into it. So we're going to take our feet in our hands. We're going to be in a nice all-four position. Take one arm and swivel it. So swivel it out. Swivel the opposite leg. So from the camera side, you'll see me swivel this direction, okay? Swivel, and then right away you can go into this all nice position that we need to. Again, if this hand or wrist needs to be adjusted or you need a block or a towel, please do so. Hand behind the head. Notice the elbow is in line with the bottom wrist. We're going to lift the top leg and flex and point at the ankle. If your hip mobility constricts you to come up even to that hip, then keep it low. and one more. Hold the flex. Kick for 2 and point 1 back. Kick, kick, point. Now, from the hip to the top of the head is quiet. And kick, kick, and back. And kick, kick, and back. And one more, and hold it back. Now circle, circle. Check in and make sure you're not dumping into that shoulder, but staying lifted through your core on the obliques. And reverse. Use those obliques. And 3, 2, and 1, and gently come all the way down. From here, we'll progress into a nice thigh stretch. Taking your ball or towel, place it at the low end of the legs. Arms out in front, hands below the shoulder. We're gonna lean straight back. Come back up. We're gonna lean straight back. Come back up. I'm going to adjust my position so you can see what the sideline view looks like. Lean, exhale back up. From the knees, top of the head, nice straight line. Ooh, one more. Hold it, lift, lower, come back up. I'm having a nice little cramp there in my calf. Stop if you get a cramp. Reach, don't work through it. 2 more. Back, lift, front, come up. One more time. Lean, up, down, and come up. Take your ball out, grab water if you need it. Staying in all fours, we're doing the sideline kneeling on the other side. So I'll show you from camera side. Your wrist goes out, your knee goes out, like a little kickstand. I'm going to the opposite side so I can face you. Yes. Arm up, hand behind, find that position, lift, flex, point, flex. And making sure that foot is in parallel so that we get these abductors. Breathe and breathe. Hold the flex, kick for 2, point 1 back. Kick for 2. You may find that one side is more challenging. Slow it up. It makes the work more complete if you find the slow, controlled work. 2 more, kick, kick, especially if you find one side more challenging. And hold back, and circle, and circle, and circle, and circle, and circle, and circle, and reverse. Circle around, good. Keep that breath going. 4, 3, 2, last one, bring that knee in. Very nice. We are now going to come back into the all 4 position and lay our body down. Single leg, double leg kick, okay? So let's find that pelvis first by placing our hands on top of each other, resting and placing our head right on top. Find the pelvis quiet. And if you have a towel and want to put it under your forehead, you certainly can. Let's take those hands and place them at the ASIS, the front hip, to ensure that we've got stability and that one side's not shifting over the next work. So hover your head, lift both thighs up, come back down, lift up. And I'm activating the glute and hamstrings before we go into single leg and double leg because they play a big part in extension. Hold the legs and just a leg swim. 1 and 1 and 1. Feel your pelvis really engage, being nice and stable. Breathe, breathe. And heels together, toes apart, legs turned out. The knees are not bent, and we're going to beat, 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 beat. 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now come down. Come onto the forearms. Find your position, wrist, elbow, elbow under the shoulder. Without the lumbar hanging out, pull the abdominals up, beyond the thighs, single leg kick. Kick, kick, reach, drop. Kick, kick, reach, drop. Kick, kick, reach, drop. Kick, kick. Breathe. One more set. And hold. Drop down to one facial cheek. Place the hands at your low back. Grab a finger or two and let the elbows rest. Double leg kick, flexing at the ankles. 1, 2, 3. Extend. Come down to the other side. 1, 2, 3. Extend. Get those glutes and hamstrings engaged in your extension. 1, 2, 3. Reach. And 1, 2, 3. Reach. And 1, 2, 3. And reach. And come all the way down. Have your hands find underneath the shoulders. Come back into a nice child's pose. Come up and take both hands over to one side. Drop your hips over to the other. Take your hands over to the other side. Let your hips drop. Oh, nice. Come back to the center. All right, we're going to flip around. We're going to stay seated again. And we are going to do an open leg rocker. So scoot up as far as you can, finding the sit bones. Then rock back on the sit bones and lift one leg up at a time into tabletop. I'm going to take you through a progression, as I usually do, so that you can find if this is where I need to stay, this is where I need to stay for today. Take a breath, scoop. Remember, imagine you still got that ball back there. Look at your toes. And curl into that imaginary ball. And then hold. Relax the shoulders. One leg extends, come back in. Other leg extends, come in. So as we move the legs, can we stay stable? And one more each way. So the first set, if you want to roll for open leg rocker, we'll do modified with knees bent. So keeping your eye gaze on your feet, 1, 2, 3, roll back. Eye gaze stays. 1, 2, 3. Exhale up. 1, 2, 3, inhale. Exhale up. 1, 2, 3, inhale. And exhale up, hold it. You can continue this modified, it's lovely on the spine, or you can take your legs out for the full position if you want. Eye gaze towards your hands or ankles. 1, 2, 3, inhale. Exhale, stick it. Inhale, exhale, hold it. Inhale, and hold it. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, one more time. And we're going to hold it here. Bring the legs in, take your arms out. Slowly, 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 slowly. Drop the legs and round over and stretch. Going into some nice bridging from here. Come all the way down. Take your feet back in line with your sit bones. Front ASIS, ankles under the knees. And now I want you to lift in a flat back bridge. This should feel better already from the beginning when we warmed up. Now melt the spine. Draw the ribs towards each other. Breathe, 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 breathe. Challenge, take your arms up to the ceiling. Lift straight up. Articulate down. Breathe. Find each vertebrae. Draw the front ribs to get that middle group of vertebral disc to open for you. Challenge more. Arms up without arching the spine. Reach. Take a breath. Articulate down. Feel more length under the armpit at the serratus, down your lats to your QL. A lovely way to open up your torso. Back to neutral. 2 more times. Lift. Exhale. Come down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Last one. Lift. And exhale. Articulate all the way down. We're in a great place to do a couple teasers, so we're going to try those. We've been integrating those in class. So take your arms out to the side, take your legs out. So taking the arms up to the ceiling, I want you to circle those arms a few times. Just finding not a big but just a nice movement of the scapula. And with teaser, we connect upper and lower body together. One more time. Now when you're ready, circle and lift all the way up to a nice teaser. Slowly come down, down, down. Reach those arms. Take a breath, circle them back around. Make it light and smooth. And exhale and hold. Drop those legs all the way down. We are going to go into some side planking. We did sideline kneeling today so that our arms and upper body get some nice work, and we're going to finish with side planking. So we're going to go through the different levels again, stacking our feet nicely. The hand, wrist should end up with the shoulder over it directly. If it's past it or short, readjust. Level 1, we're just going to lift the hips. Straight line, top of the head to the knees, and come back down. Level 1 position, you can do all the upper body work. So you decide which one you want. Level 2, checking into the arm, take the leg out straight and come back in. I'm going to scoot down a little so I have some mat. And then the full work, come 1, 2, 3, and lift. Here we go. Reach over, side bends. And drop the hips, look at your hand. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, look at your hand. 2 more, up and over. And look at your hand. Last one, up and over, and swivel. Now, if you're on your feet like I am, this is easy. If you're on your knees, walk to your knees and then come into a plank. Wrist under the shoulders. Pull front. So here we go. Lower, lower, lower. Hold that leg. Now press back the other heel and pulse, 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 and drop. So come back. Lift the other side. Lower, 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 hold. Press that heel back. Pulse, 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 pulse. Hold, drop down, drop a knee, rest back. Because of the camera, if I swiveled back into side planking, you'd have my back side. So we're going to just make this nice, simple adjustment so we can go to the other side. We know the levels. We'll progress and you pick where you want to stay today. Here we go. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Reach over, side bend. Really reach the ribs to the ceiling. Then drop them and look at your hand. Up and drop. 2 more. Good. 1 more. And drop around. Swivel. If you're on your knees, you can come right back into it. And from here, give me a lovely pike. Keep your ears up against the arms. Don't let your head just hang. Lift both heels. Come in to alignment. Lower. And lift. Lower. And lift 1 more time. And lift. Walk your hands in where it's comfortable. Take 1 leg out. The shoulders and the hips stay squared as you externally rotate this back leg. Lift it up in arabesque. And then lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, and come down. The body from the hips to the hands do not move. Parallel. Other leg, point comes down. Externally rotate. Hips and shoulders are square. Lift. You're not looking to the side. You're looking straight down for arabesque. 1 more. And come in and hold. Bring your hands in. Ooh, let your head rest. Remember, the neck and head don't have any work. Let them relax and you'll feel a deeper, deeper stretch. Slowly come up 1 vertebrae at a time. We did a lot of shoulder, scapula movement today for strength and mobility. We're going to finish with our heels together, toes apart. Taking our palms and reaching back to get a nice smile across our chest. Come back in. Breathe. Come back in. The hands, fingertips to the shoulder, 1 long piece. And hold it here. Turn your head to the left, take a breath. Continuously breathing and a little chest expansion. And then back to the center. Release the arms and press back. Turn to your right. Breathe all the way to the left. Head back to the center. Breathe back. Turn your head to the left. Breathe to the right. And center. We're almost there, yeah? And pull back. Turn to the right. Turn to the left. Back to the center. Hold. Roll those shoulders down and back. Good. And gently glide the shoulder blades over the ribs. No hard pulling, but gentle. Take a nice deep breath in. Palms go up. Open that heart. Turn your palms away. Open that heart. 2 more. Inhale. Get that breath. Feel the spine lengthen. Inhale 1 more time. You did beautiful work tonight. I hope that you feel a little better than when you started. Stay safe, stay well. Until next week, have a great one.